Hello there, how are you doing? I hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking on this video and I hope you get something out of it. Now if you've seen my stealth camp video in the park and ride and the Sherwood Forest camp video, you'll know that I took out the East Hills Outdoors tarp and hammock setup and that the tarp failed. It failed quite miserably in fact. And what I'm going to do today is I have actually bought another tarp, it's by Linker, and I'm going to be swapping things around a bit and setting up a ridge line on the Linker tarp so that I can create a diamond formation, and I want to do that before I go out and use it next. So I am actually out where there's a couple of trees where I can try this out and test it out between them and then get the measurements right on the cord too, and I thought I'd show you what I'm doing. Right, let's crack on, shall we? So first of all, I'm just going to remove all these tie out points, the guy lines on this East Hills Outdoors tarp. You can see where it failed, you know, in both of those bits. Yeah, not particularly strong at all. The Linker one does feel an awful lot stronger. The problem with the Linker tarp is it does come with very garish guy lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap those out for these, as I say, because it just makes more sense to have something a little bit more low profile, because that tends to be how I work. Right, so I've got all the guy lines off. The tarp is now back in the bag, and yeah, time to start creating the ridge line using the paracord on there. Cut off the end of the cord. I'm just going to singe that with a lighter just to melt it, just to stop it from fraying. Done. Right, the next thing to do is just to feed the end of the line through the grommet. And remember, the line is going to go underneath the tarp on this one. Some tarps do have hangers on the top, but this one doesn't, so we'll be going underneath, and I quite like an underneath ridge line anyway, so we'll just feed that underneath and then feed it in at the other end. As I say, same thing at this end. Pull that through. The next thing I'm going to do is to attach the end of this line to a carabiner, and all I'm going to do here is create a slip knot. And the reason I use a carabiner is it just makes the first tie off really easy when you're first setting your tarp up. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just creating a slip knot, feed that round a couple of times, feed the bite through, and then just gradually work it so it's nice and tight. There we go, until you get that nice knot there, look. And then this just slides through. Put that on. Pull that up. There we go, all nicely done. So next I'm just going to wrap this cord around the tree a couple of times and feed it back on itself. So wrap it around one, feed it back on itself, and then lock it off with the carabiner. There we go, so that's that done. So what I've done is I've wrapped it around once, fed it back over the line, and then fed it back the other way, and the carabiner is just attached to the loop, and it just creates a strong initial connection. And then on this side I'm just going to tie it off. There we go, that's nicely tied off. What I've done is I've gone round twice, fed it back on itself, gone round again, fed it back on itself, and just tied it off with a slip knot. If I was actually out in the woods and there were some twigs around, I would just put a twig in there just to lock that off. So now, as you can see, the tarp is on, but it's sliding around. So we need to create some prusik lines on here just so that we can tauten this off, tauten the tarp off. For my prusik lines, I'm just going to use one of these guy lines from the from the East Hills Outdoors. Now what you need is you need a loop about, that's maybe even a bit long. They don't need to be that long. About there, maybe about just shy of a foot, I reckon. Cut that off. Seal the ends. 2 of those. There we go, that's those done. Right, we'll just attach these prusik loops. Right, the prusik loops are now on, so we now have the option and the ability to put some tension on this tarp. There we go. It's just a case now of adding guy lines. Just time to peg it out. Excellent. Looks all right, I'm quite happy with that. It's got a good center line, so if it gets rained on, it will run off, unlike the East Hills tarp, which wouldn't actually hang straight with the setup it came with. You can see the line down the center there. Also gives me the option of hanging bits and pieces on here, doesn't it? Which is one of the things I quite like about an under ridge line. But yeah, I think that'll do the trick. What I might do is just tie off a few additional guy lines that I've got them, so I might as well just leave them hanging on there, and then if I need to, I can always tighten it down, can't I? Add a couple more pegs if I need to strengthen it up a bit. But if it's a quiet day like today, then it'll be fine. Is that how you would have done this? If you've got any other ideas or suggestions for how I could have done things differently or better, feel free to drop them in the comments. And you know what to do if you like this type of video. Give the video a like, subscribe to can't even get the words out. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. You take care of yourself. Cheerio.